welcome to Behind the Music for Daily Hope. I'm Kristin, Holton, Prouty, and one of the things that I get asked a lot about when I play for services at Victory is about my iPad. Now, a lot of the times I'll be using this as a score. Instead of having paper music in front of me, I'm playing off of my iPad. Now, there's lots of advantages to using the iPad. I don't have to worry about lighting. I don't have to worry about a gust of wind. I don't have to worry about if it's a new book and it doesn't want to stay open. Lots of things that musicians deal with on a regular basis. But one of my absolute favorite things, and the thing that people ask me about the most, is how do I turn the pages? When I'm playing along, sometimes they say, is it listening to you? No, probably we have that technology, but that's what I'm doing. I'm using an app that's called Fourscore, and it has facial recognition. So the camera is watching me, and if you see here, when I go like this, the page turns. Just a little wiggle of my lip. If I want to turn it back the other way, I wiggle it the other way. So this works really, really well. There's a little bit of a learning curve, and you just have to practice your little twitch of your lip there to make it go one way or the other. Now, this past weekend I was playing, and I was running a little bit late, but I knew everything was going to be fine. I had my iPad. I knew what music I was going to be doing. I had it in the right order. I knew that it was charged. I knew what I was doing. I got up there, I set all my registrations, I started to play, and I got to the page turn, and I did my little wiggle, nothing. Wiggle harder, nothing. So I reached up and I did an emergency tap the page turn, and I was able to keep playing. So I made it to the end of that song. I said, what is wrong? Why aren't my pages turning? So I went, there's a little button at the top that you click to make sure that the facial recognition is turned on, so it will turn your pages. And so I clicked on that, and it wasn't even there. It wasn't as an option. And a little light bulb in my head went off, and thought there must have been an update and something has happened. And so here I was in a bind. I'm so accustomed to having my pages turn, and they were not turning. And so this was a problem. So I was able to discover, we organists have a few minutes during the sermon sometimes. I was able to discover that due to the update, it had no longer connected me to the pro version. And so I had to go in and I had to resubscribe, and I had to make sure I had the pro version, and to click on that. I had to make sure that it had the sensitivity that I need, because some people wiggle harder than others or whatever. And so I had to get it all reset so that I could have everything the way I needed it to be. Now everything looked right. I thought I was good, but I had lacking that connection to the version that would make it work for me. The text that we're using this weekend at Victory is from Joel 2, and it reads like this. Now therefore, says the Lord, return to me with all your hearts, with fasting, with weeping, and with mourning. So rend your hearts and not your garments. Return to the Lord your God. So you might be thinking that you're fine. You might be doing all the right things. You're going to church. You're nice to people. But make sure that you have that connection to the pro. If we don't have that connection, something's going to happen, and it's just not going to work the way that it's supposed to. So I'm glad I got to share a little bit about my iPad. I know many of you have asked that question, so I hope that helped a little bit. If you need more details, you're always welcome to talk to me. I hope that you join us online. Our worship is live streamed every week at 9:30. We still have Lenten services that are live streamed at 4 o'clock on Wednesdays. And I'll be talking a little bit more coming up soon as Holy Week. We've got some great music planned here at Victory. It's always so fun to be able to share with you everything that we've been working on during this penitential but beautiful season as we are returning our hearts to God. I'll be back with you again next week. Thanks.